Ohio's governor rejecting a bill to ban trans women from female sports teams and gender transition treatments for minors. Our next guest is outraged. She's been fighting to hold doctors accountable for these controversial surgeries after receiving puberty blockers and a double mastectomy before she was even 15 years old. Chloe Cole transitioned back to being a woman a few years ago, and she joins us now. Chloe, it is such a pleasure to have you on today. So again, the Save Adolescents from Experimentation Act was passed by the Ohio legislature with a lot of votes earlier this month. And then, of course, Governor DeWine vetoed that. So let's just get back to your story. What do you know? What is it from your story that you would say to Governor DeWine, who says that parents should have this right? If they agree to it, they should be able to help their child do this experimental transition to another gender.
Well, parents don't have a right to abuse their children. This is no different from any form of abuse. This is the sterilization and mutilation of thousands of children happening within the state that he is being entirely complicit in. He has made the choice to continue this.
Yeah. Why do you think he
In fact, we had a Zoom call just a few days before the decision was made. And when I was describing every step of the treatment, and especially when I brought up how young I was during every step, having been 13 when my puberty was suppressed, when I was put on androgens, and that I was 15 when my breasts were surgically removed, he was visibly disturbed. He knows just how horrific this is to do to children. His decision to continue this to happen to thousands of families within the state is not just a matter of pure incompetence or ignorance.
Right. I mean, it's fascinating. I didn't realize that you had had a Zoom call with him and told him about what had happened to you, and he still made this decision. I read in my notes here that you believe this is because of big pharma and the big, powerful hospitals in Ohio.
Yes. I mean, this bill has been in the works for well over 3 years at this point. And in 12 days, Governor DeWine chose to ignore the extensive work and research of his entire cabinet that was in full support of it. And of course, the testimonies of patients, of families like me, who've actually been through this, clearly do not matter to him. And neither does the reality around what these treatments actually do.
Yeah, you know, Chloe, some of the parents who are deciding to do this to their children are being intimidated by the, trans industrial complex. They're being told that if they don't do this, their child's going to kill themselves or commit suicide. What is your advice to parents who have a child? And listen, let's be clear. There's a lot of social contagion going on. There's a lot of reasons why this exponential increase in children saying they're not in the right body, that they're the wrong gender. What would you say to a parent who has a child come to them saying they want this done?
That's exactly the lie that my parents were given by these activist doctors. They were told that the decision was either going to be between one of two things, either having a very suicidal and eventually dead daughter or a living transgender son. But that is not true. These children are not committing suicide because they were born in the wrong body. This is an entirely psychological issue, and these children are not getting the help that they need. They need psychiatric help. They need to know that they're loved, that they're perfect, and the bodies that they were born with. And if he truly believes in his heart that perfectly healthy children can be born wrong, that they need to be corrected, I think he should be expelled from office.
Well, Chloe, you are one brave woman. I don't know how Governor DeWine heard your story and made the decision he did. And I have to agree with you that it seems to me like it's some very powerful financial interests that changed his mind. It's very sad because a lot of children will suffer needlessly. I appreciate all the work that you're doing to warn families, to warn parents, warn children, and our politicians, our leaders, about the long-term devastating impact and implications of mutilating a child. It's just horrific. But you are a brave girl, and I thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.